Welcome back into week 2 of the Bison Overtime.
Bison
Good time to be
Overtime.
back. Good time to be back. I almost misspoke. I have my lovely Patriots fan Vinny here with us.
Yo.
He's ready to break down all the sports, ready to get into it, ready to talk about his Patriots going 0-6
Look.
in a loss.
First,
Do you want to start
round-
off there? First off,
yeah,
Let's
we're
get
gonna
it
be
right out of the gate.
first pick in this next year's draft.
Carolina's first. Dude.
Well, they're gonna win a couple games. We're gonna be first, and then everyone's gonna cry.
Let's actually start where we should, which is with NDSU sports. You know what
Right.
the people come for, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't come for your Patriots.
No one comes for my Patriots, and no one comes for your Browns. So
No one-
deal.
I don't know about that, man. I wish we win games, but it was a good week for NDSU. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think that we were going to pull it off, but Montana State, they're a good team on the road. That's a tough game.
Absolutely, and I told you in the last overtime, I said there's going to be 4 teams that are going to be in the semifinals, and we had to get through a tough Montana State team. It's always a great game, and the expectations going in and the results were right there. Blocked PAT.
Not the way I would have predicted. If you told me a block PAT in overtime to win it, no. There's no way. There just isn't. That doesn't happen.
And also from a backup lineman, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Weird game of unlikely heroes. Also, NDSU the only road team to win. So the only upset,
And
which is a bit crazy to think about.
that is wild. Every other game went to schedule. South Dakota beat Sacramento State, and that's where NDSU is going to go travel to.
Beat them, I wouldn't say handily, but they definitely beat them without a doubt. This wasn't a game where it was like the last play decided it, but maybe not the stomping you want if you're a Coyotes fan before you play a Bison team that has had your number in the past and definitely remembers losing mid-season. So there is that. If there's ever motivation, it's the team that usually doesn't beat you, beating you in the middle of the season. That's a good reason to go out there and get it. So.
Oh, absolutely. And, this Bison team is on a storm. They've won 4 straight after that loss to SDSU, and they are coming for vengeance. And I feel bad for these Coyotes because they will bleed out.
Yeah, and they didn't even need to pass the ball. Only 78 yards passing. That's rare in today's college, even for FCS, even for a run team like the Bison. That doesn't happen very much. You don't see many teams where they so quite literally lean on just the run. 300 yards rushing to 80 yards passing. It was no mistake. You knew what they were going to do, and they still did it.
The Bison offense is just that type of team where the run's coming, and you still can't stop it because there's so many good players on this team, especially on how Coach Roll and schemes his offense. It's just unpredictable some days.
And then the other big part of the game was watching Tommy Millott, the Bobcats quarterback, go down. That's a big injury. This was the heart and soul of the offense. It didn't seem to really matter much as the game was already tied, but it still plays a big part because if that Montana State team, they also had a run by Chambers, their backup quarterback, where he got ruled out 30 yards from where he ended up.
Yeah.
If he stays in bounds, that's probably the game. That's probably the Bison season right there.
That would have been the game. And luckily he stepped out of bounds, and
wore too big of shoes, This best Dak Prescott impersonation.
It was just a repeat of the 2021 championship, really. If you look at it, Tommy Millott gets injured in a big game against NDSU, and Montana State just can't pull it off for, 4 out of the last 5? Montana State cannot go through the playoffs without facing NDSU and losing to them.
I gotta say, though, the fans, watching the fans in the stands, I know Cowboy Hat was the most famous Montana State fan. That was hilarious. We are watching a guy progressively get worse as the game goes on, sadder and sadder. He started off so happy, so joyous, hyped up, and by the end of the game, he's just head in the hands. Just distraught. He just looked defeated. It was was it last year or 2 years ago where they had the helmets, the inflatable helmets, or paper helmets, wherever they were, and they had all their fans wearing them, and they just looked dead in the eyes.
Dead in the eyes.
Soulless, emotionless.
What else can you do if you're a Bobcat? If you're a Bobcat fan, you just can't escape from NDSU or SDSU because those are the last 5 seasons. You lose to NDSU, lose to NDSU, you'll lose to NDSU, lose to SDSU, and then you lose to NDSU again. You just can't escape the Dakotas.
I'd argue that they played the better game. I mean, they outgained NDSU. They outplayed them, really. It wasn't really even like a game for a while. It was like Montana State starting to run away with it in the third quarter, and then NDSU climbs back into it. I mean, it was close, but if you're Montana State, you got to get that PAT. You're thinking that at home, you have a chance. Like, they just went down and answered. You would start with the ball, if we're playing the theoreticals. That Bison defense really didn't do much against them. They didn't have much of an answer.
No, and, I mean, you just come out and go. Well, NDSU had the ball at halftime, so then they go down and score on you, and you're like, okay, what do? We're going to just answer two straight, and they just couldn't seem to score in the fourth quarter, and, the tides turned really well for the Bison, and, it was a good game.
2 missed field goals too by the Bobcats to start the game. I mean,
And
those are gonna haunt you.
The game.
Those
right
are gonna
there.
haunt you. And then the PAT. So their kicker has to just be like distraught.
I mean, if
you gotta have it.
If I'm the Montana State kicker, I am turning in my jerseys and never coming back out on the field.
Like the 49-yarder, more understandable. That's a tough kick for a college kicker. That's a more understandable miss. But 33 yards, you gotta have. And he didn't get that to start the game. I mean, right there. I hate to play the what-if game, but that's the what-if. That's 3 points right there, maybe 6, and then you're not going overtime because the NDSU team wasn't going to catch up. I mean, they were barely keeping up with a tie game.
I mean, when you're a kicker in that situation and you have to make those in the first quarter. I mean, I'm not playing devil's advocate, but damn, as a kicker, it's your job. Mm-hmm. I could probably go out there on the field and kick a 33-yarder.
Oh, I don't know about that. That sounds like a Pat McAfee show. That's like those college kids you guys going out there, and then they just whiff it, hit some kid in the crowd. You take out someone's toddler in that crowd, Vinny. No, both offenses started really slow. I mean, we have punts from NDSU on their first 3 possessions, 2 missed field goals from Montana State. And then all of a sudden it clicks for both offenses. And then they're just rattling touchdown, right back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had the 75-yarder to open the half from NDSU. Montana answers, 2-play drive for 86, right back. I mean, it's almost a tale of 2 offenses.
And, I mean, it was a back and forth after they finally got it going. NDSU started super slow. I mean, 3 and outs, I just can't get worse as an offense than that. And then they finally picked it up in the second quarter. Zach Mathis got a touchdown, and then Tamarick broke 2 big runs, and resulting in a great score for them. And then, once the Bison scored, it was Montana State, and then the Bison scored, and then same back and forth. So,
I mean, to give the defense credit, I went and said they didn't do much. They did save the game. They get 2 sacks off the Chambers run, push them out of field goal range.
It was 3 sacks.
Was it 3 sacks?
Yeah, it was 3 sacks. It was first down, sack, and sack.
One by Jay Cava, and then one by Hendricks.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe there was one, but they're calling it a run for no gain. So, by the running back. So, I mean, the defense holds strong. You give up the big run, it gets called back, you get saved by the refs, and then you make the most of it. They stop him 3 straight times. They force a punt because, as sorry as the Montana State kicker is, you don't want him to have the chance.
No.
So they force that punt, force overtime, and then, of course, the PAT in overtime, rest is history.
I mean, like I said.
That glove's going right to the Hall of Fame. It has
to. That forearm needs to go.
That forearm, he's chopping it off. Lobotomy.
Right to the Hall of Fame.
Send that chunk right to the Hall of Fame.
And, I mean, that was a bizarre game. And now we have I don't want to overlook South Dakota, but a fairly easy matchup there. And
one that you feel a little bit better because you know the team more, I would say. More familiarity. I think those more familiar matchups, you've already played them once this year. You already got shocked by them. You know what they're good at, and then you're on a roll. Like, if you're NDSU, you've been on fire.
You've been on fire. You're ready for your revenge going into Coyote territory, claiming it as your own.
So, I mean, that's definitely a big game. obviously, speaking for the other Missouri Valley Conference, we had Southern Illinois fell apart to Idaho. They almost kept their season going, but obviously not enough. Also lost in overtime.
I mean, they pushed it into overtime. They made it competitive, and I mean, as Southern Illinois, that's all you can really ask for.
It's a better season than you're used to if you're a Salukis fan. You had a chance to run it to the last 8 teams. That's something to build on, especially with the weaknesses you've seen from the Bison this year. You've seen that a team like South Dakota comes out of nowhere. The division, or the conference, feels more in flux than normal.
Oh, this season was just a terrible season just for the Missouri Valley Conference, just in general. I mean, it's not your typical football conference, and I mean, NDSU didn't even make the top 8, so talk about an irregular season.
But I mean, the top 8 teams that did make it in South Dakota and South Dakota State, they're representing. I mean, South Dakota State, 41-0 is just rough. That's embarrassing. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how you come back from that.
It's Mercer.
Yeah.
I mean,
they did what we expected them to do. It's basically the tail of the tape.
I mean, and South Dakota's going to probably go down against NDSU, and then Montana.
You're saying that as a homer, or you're saying that as like an actual pick?
I'm saying that as the actual pick, like I said in the
they
very
are
first
favored.
5
6.5.
overtime.
6.5 favorites NDSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
20.
It's gonna be a rough one for the Coyotes, I think.
Jackrabbits are 20-point favorites against Villanova at home. I'm not surprised. And then Idaho 4-point favorites over Albany and Furman in Montana. There's no line, so.
There's no line on that.
There's no line on it, but
I'm
it might just not be out.
I'm taking Montana.
I would take Montana. They look good. They looked extremely good this last week. I mean, they hammered the point home. We said going into last week that was a team that you have to watch out.
Right.
They did. Took care of business against Delaware. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
No, I mean, Delaware faced SDSU last season, and it wasn't even close. Now they play a number 2 team like Montana. You just can't expect much from Delaware, especially when it was really close to Lafayette.
I mean, 49 points in 3 quarters is pretty bad. They didn't even score in the 4th. They didn't need to. The game was over.
Right. And, I mean, if you want to talk about a toxic fan base, Montana is just getting on people's nerves, and we just really need to get them out of the playoffs.
Did they at you on Twitter, Vinny? Is that what this is?
Nope.
You were talking trash to someone. You were, weren't you?
Nope. I'm just saying.
This guy was talking junk to Montana fans on Twitter. That's what happened, huh?
No.
That seemed a little bit personal. That didn't seem like the fan base sucks. That felt like you just got attacked.
No, I'm like SDSU fans, Montana fans, just kind of all over the place this year, and I just can't handle them. So NDSU just need to take care of business in Vermilion, and then take care of business in Montana.
Take care of business so they can back up what you said on Twitter.
I did not say anything on Twitter. I didn't.
Okay, all right.
I didn't.
I mean, moving on, you got anything else you want to cover? Go down to 8 teams now. It's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting very fast.
Right.
I mean, what if you're NDSU? You're not facing South Dakota, right? You don't have to till the championship. So.
What do you mean? You are facing
or South Dakota State.
Yeah. I mean,
State,
you are just thankful that you don't have to play SDSU until the finals, and then you're gonna get your vengeance down in Frisco. So.
You got to get through South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Should be the easier of the 2.
Right.
Because I'm assuming right now that Montana's going to win. I would love to see Furman pull off an upset, but
that would be great.
Montana's a great team. I mean, they're just a powerhouse.
I mean,
plain and simple, they're just a powerhouse. This is a team in Montana that wins year after year. Them and Montana State, we said this last week. They're 2 really good teams. Montana State, we barely outed. It's a tough out. And then Montana just steamrolls Delaware like that. I mean, Furman played Chattanooga, but playing Chattanooga is Furman's equivalent of NDSU hosting like Southern Illinois. It's like they're in division. They're a little bit weaker than you, because Chattanooga and Furman are both Southern teams, so they're familiar.
Yes, but I wouldn't really consider that SIU versus NDSU. I mean, yes, SIU did
for this year.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, for this year, because you're playing another good team, but you played them in division. I'm assuming, I'm not going to look, but I'm assuming Furman's beat them. I mean, I can't look right now. But when you're going to play a team blindly in Montana, that's tough. And Montana's, they're a good team.
I mean, there was a snowstorm in that game too, and that was If you are a football player, that is one that you dream of to
They
play.
beat Chattanooga 17-14, so I was right. They did beat them.
Yeah, so.
Villanova is probably the most surprising team, if I'm being honest with you, that's still left in the field.
B-ball school.
Yeah, I don't expect good things against Jackrabbits. That is a dominant program, especially they playing outside in the cold.
Yeah, and SDSU, not to give them any props or anything, but they have
They
not
know what
lost
they're
since last season against Iowa. So.
Yeah. And that wasn't even by much. I mean, they ran Iowa down to the last seconds in that game, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was like 7-9 that game. It was a low scoring affair because Iowa cannot score.
7-3, yeah, classic Iowa.
Yep, classic Iowa right there.
Yeah, I mean, what they're up to? Oh shoot, like 27, 28 game win streak.
Something like that. You know, hopefully they don't chase down NDSU, but.
This is just a good Jackrabbits team, and I don't think they're going to break it against Nova. I mean,
No.
I'd like for Albany or Idaho to have them, but
Idaho might have them, but
I can't see it though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I can't bet on it.
I can't wait to see. I don't know where our.
We're good.
Anyway, but yeah, I can't wait to see that, and that would be just a really good championship again. You know, like 2 seasons ago, hopefully, Idaho pulls off what Montana State did against SDSU. We'll just have to see and watch.
And then of course it's been a big week in college football, regardless. Transfer portal. I think over 1,000 players.
Jeez.
Maybe
Yeah,
1,100. It's creeping. It's insane. It's
wild.
It's absolutely wild.
It is crazy. And what's the biggest name in there? You know.
I'm gonna look it up right now. We're gonna find out because there's so many. It's insane.
I mean, speaking of college football, you can't speak college football this week and not mention someone getting snubbed out of the playoffs.
2024 top players. Walter Nolan's leaving A&M. I know Aiden Chills from Oregon State, and also DJ. Oh, I'm gonna butcher his last name. DJ Uigalele.
Yeah.
I'd say. I think he's transferring too.
He is.
So again, he transfers from Clemson to Oregon State. You know, he's transferring again. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous.
He wants to be the college journeyman like Ryan Fitzpatrick, but
I mean,
in college,
I guess no. I suppose the move is because the Pac-12 is disintegrating. Oregon State's. I don't know if they have a suitor team or a conference yet. So rather than figure that out, you know, who you're playing, and then have the whole, you played a soft schedule. He's gonna try and go for a team like LSU, you know, Ohio State, someone who's more of a powerhouse team.
If I was him, I would try to go to Ohio State and pair up with Marvin Harrison and that stacked wide receiver room. But, I mean, that's me.
Yeah, I mean, just a ton of big names. Brock Vandegrift, Georgia quarterback, he's going to Kentucky, right across the conference. Lot still to be proven. I believe it's going to be interesting to see Colorado. We saw last year Colorado was the tale of transfer portal. It was all, you know, everyone's transferring to play with Dion. Does that happen again? To what extent?
I mean,
it's going to happen, but
yeah.
I don't think it's going to be as much last year. It was practically a new roster.
It was a new roster and a new team for Dion, and I mean, you know, the hype around Colorado was there, and after they got a couple wins, they kind of fell apart a little bit. But I mean, if you're Colorado and you have other players coming to you, you don't really have to recruit that hard.
I mean, big name quarterback, Tyler Buckner, Alabama's quarterback. He's in the transfer portal, and it's still new. We're only a couple days in the portal, so it very well could skyrocket. It could ramp up. Could see more names hit the portal, but it's getting kind of ridiculous at this point. This is starting to feel like free agency.
Yeah, and I mean, people are chasing NIL deals and all those stuff. I mean, that's what NIL did, and you can't blame them for it.
No.
I mean, if you want to play for a good team, you go play for a powerhouse college. Like, it's fine. You just have to perform. I mean, speaking of performing and getting snubbed, Florida State, undefeated, gets snubbed out of the playoffs.
So bad. I felt so bad for Seminole fans. I don't care anything about Florida State football at all. At all. But you're 13-0, and you're going to tell me, as an ACC team being 13-0, you don't make
the
playoffs? And Alabama, who barely beat Auburn, barely, needed a 4th and 31 to win. 4th and goal from 31. And because what? You beat Georgia, you jumped 4 spots?
I mean, Georgia was the number 1 team. I would still put Alabama in there, but I would have taken Texas out.
This is a scared move by the committee. Everybody knows they can't have a playoff without an SEC team, all right? It's not obvious. We knew it was going to happen. They were going to find a way to squeak somebody in. If it was Georgia winning, obviously it would have deserved it.
Right.
But if everyone kind of felt like if Alabama won, they were going to try and get them in there somehow, like make it work.
Just squeeze them in there.
Squeeze them in there. If you squint really hard, really hard, just squint at it. Oh, I think I can see a way that Alabama gets in here. Oh yeah, there it is.
Crimson Tide.
We're just gonna screw over. Is that screwing over Florida State? I don't care about them. Are they gonna leapfrog 4 spots? Have they been relevant? Not really, but we'll get them in. It's good for 80s.
I mean, yeah, you just don't think of playoffs without Alabama, but you just squeaked in. And, I mean, okay, how I would have done it if I was a committee, Michigan at 1, obviously, Washington at 2, Florida State at 3, and then put Alabama at 4. I know you're snubbing out Texas, but a lot of Texas fans are going to come after me. But
they're not going to like it.
No, not at all. But it's an undefeated football team. You are not going to snub an undefeated football team just because they're a conference.
I don't know how you snub a Texas team that beat Alabama, that beat Kansas State, beat Oklahoma State. Their only loss was to Oklahoma, and that was by 4. This team has already beaten the team you're putting them in over them in Alabama. And it wasn't like a squeaker game. It was they kind of humiliated them. The score won't say that, but they took it right to them. I remember that. It was like way back in September. It was a big blow in the first half. It was like, oh, Texas.
I mean, but
they ran up 21 in the 4th on them.
Yes, but you're Alabama, and also it's Georgia. So it's
Georgia's
number 1.
You're Alabama. So
Georgia's
what?
number 1. So if you beat a number 1 team, that puts you up a little bit.
Yeah. If UCF beat Georgia, UCF's in? Suddenly they go from 20 to 4? No, it's because it's Alabama. It's because we can't have a playoff without an SEC team or Nick Saban.
That's true. I mean,
if Alabama has any other name tag on them besides Alabama, I guarantee you they don't leapfrog that much. They're at 6. You're at 5 or 6.
You're out. Yeah, if you're any other team from any other conference, you're skedaddled. And yeah, I mean, this conference we got a really good game though. Alabama versus Michigan. Do they have Jim Harbaugh back from now?
I mean, Michigan played Iowa. I'm not shocked that Iowa got steamrolled. Really not. You're going to have to explain to me, though, how Texas leapfrogs from 7 to 3 and beats out Florida State. And Alabama beats out Florida State. Despite Florida State keeping an unbeaten record without their quarterback. And I think that's what everyone's getting down to is they don't have Jordan Travis. Therefore, they're not going to be an interesting watch. They're going to be an easy out like TCU was last year in the championship.
Okay, look,
that's
TCU got past the semis, okay? Like, you cannot call any team an easy out anymore.
TCU, I mean, what? They managed to get it done. They got to the championship.
Yeah.
This wasn't a case of, like, they got blown out first round. Like, no, they beat a team to get to the championship.
Right. And that was Ohio State, right?
I believe so. I'm checking right now because this was last year. But if it wasn't Ohio State, then it was probably.
Here,
I'm looking right now. There it is. Michigan, 51-45. Michigan.
Yeah.
They didn't beat Liberty. They didn't beat UCF. They didn't beat a bad Clemson team. They beat Michigan, and Michigan's number 2.
Michigan is the
powerhouse,
and they only got better this year. But still, you beat Michigan.
This is more of a testament to what Georgia does and less to what TCU is.
Right.
You beat Michigan. Michigan's not a sloppy team.
No. And Georgia was just a powerhouse last year, and they don't even make the playoffs this year because they couldn't beat a Crimson Tide team that has just not been doing well over the last couple
I don't
of
understand
years.
how an Alabama team that beats Texas A&M by 6, beats Arkansas by 3, and really doesn't embarrass anybody in conference, Auburn by 3. I mean, sure, you beat all the ranked opponents you played except for Texas, but there was 3 or 4 games in there they should have been upset. It wasn't like they were running teams out of the stadium. So to beat Georgia by 3, congrats, but if you're not the Crimson Tide, you're not in. Like, you're just, I don't see how.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. And then Oregon gets dropped. I mean, obviously, Oregon's going to get dropped.
Oregon got dropped, yeah, because you lost. I mean, if you win, would you be in? That's the question. Like, if you're Oregon, would you be in? If you won?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that was the entire point of the game was.
Yeah.
If Oregon wins, Washington's out, and vice versa, which makes sense.
Right.
The issue is that your team in Florida State, who has persevered through your quarterback being injured, I know people point weaker schedule, they're going to say that, and I guess it was, but it's not their fault. You're playing in the ACC. Clemson's not good. That's not on them.
No, it's
you
not.
Don't care.
I mean, look, if you're undefeated, you're undefeated, and you should belong in the playoffs,
And
no matter what conference you are in.
Rightfully so. Their star receiver, Johnny Wilson, skipping the Orange Bowl, will declare for the draft. I mean, you're going to see this now. Now the Seminoles are like, well, screw it. If we're not playing the playoff, what's the point?
Right. I mean,
and this is an issue with a lot of these bigger teams. It's like, if you don't make the playoff, why risk the injury?
I mean, yes, but look, you are undefeated. You want to cap off a great undefeated team, go play Georgia and beat them.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but if you're going into the draft, the Orange Bowl is not enough to risk your NFL career. It's just not.
No.
And the playoff's going to be 12 next year. So we won't have to talk about this. We'll be talking about 13 or 14 teams that got snubbed. We'll be like, wow, Louisville got snubbed. Iowa should have made it. How did Iowa not make it? Oh, my God. I didn't see this coming.
But we know Florida State got snubbed, and now they're playing Georgia. Time to just cap off a great season, beat Georgia, skedaddle.
Skedaddle.
Yeah, skedaddle. Get out of here.
Now, if I remember right, this is a little bit tricky now that I think that the Pac-12 is not going to be a thing.
No.
But now, because it was supposed to originally be the top team from each Power 5, and then the best team from the remaining 5 conferences.
Right.
But now it's going to be the 6 highest ranked conference champions. So you would assume your power conferences. And then the other 6 are just at large.
Right. At large bids.
Yeah. So this year, right now, if you had it,
it would be SEC.
you would get number 12 Liberty and number 5 Florida State. Not terrible. Ole Miss at Georgia, 11 versus 6. Penn State at Ohio State, that's a good game.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Missouri fantastic. At Oregon, and then of course your 4 would be the 4 that are in, which are Alabama, Texas, Michigan, and not Michigan. Michigan's 1. Washington's 2.
But yeah, if they had the playoffs this season, that would be one hell of a playoffs to watch. Even
I'm gonna say it again. Make it a bigger playoff. All right, don't even wait. Just start going for it right now.
Just right now, make it big.
We waste like 2 months. Like, we're not playing bowl games that matter for like a month and a half. This isn't a case of like we're jamming the schedule in. Like, you guys take forever. We stretch bowl season for a whole month.
I mean, look,
if you
got the playoffs to expand right now, Florida State can prove to the committee why they shouldn't have snubbed them. I mean, there would be a lot of storylines coming out, and I just don't see why they just didn't do it this year.
I mean, if you didn't make the conference championship, your season was done on the 25th. You might not play again until like late December.
Right. And what? You're going to just spend a month preparing for one game?
You want to spend a month preparing for the Myrtle Beach Bowl? Really? The Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl? Great. That's what I'm looking forward to, Coach. I can't wait for the Starco Brands LA Bowl. Or my favorite, the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. Oh, yeah. Put that one on the resume. Yeah.
I mean, look, you don't even, if you're an FCS team or even in the NFL level, you don't get a month to prepare for a game.
Oh, my girlfriend's going to love this one. There's a Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. It's like her favorite place.
That would be.
Shout out Scooters. Yeah, we got a fist pump in the back.
Scooters. Scooters.
That's a good question. We should ask that. Is like, what's the best coffee place nowadays? I feel like the women of Bin would have some opinions.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty heated because it's like what? Bison Beanery.
Mm-hmm.
One on campus. Caribou.
One on campus. Caribou.
Starbucks and Scooters.
Yeah.
Those are the 4.
That's
their own college playoff right there.
Yeah. You gotta give them something to look forward to, right? That right there.
Gotta keep that. Gotta keep
What
them
would
entertained.
Addy? What's your vote?
Scooters? Thumbs up. Scooters says your
Scooters,
vote. No.
Starbucks, Caribou.
Caribou's the vote. Yeah,
Caribou.
there it is.
Hey,
There's always one.
the fire camp. Absolute smacks.
The what from?
No.
You did not. You spoke all of like
I
2 words and a space bar. Your whole sentence is just a space bar. I didn't get any of that. Just a.
Campfire mocha
Smacks.
from.
There it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
That
Sorry.
I know what that is.
It's
I
just
didn't
like-
know. I didn't know what you said. I was like, what did he just say?
What is this guy on? I mean, okay, let's predict the playoffs while we're just on the topic.
Yeah. Before we move on,
Yeah.
I guess. Do you want to stay this week? Or want to just go all the way? Because it's only 4 teams. It's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty easy.
I mean, we can go the whole bowl game if you want.
All the bowl
game?
No, hell, no. Be here till next week.
Yep.
We'll just do the ones that matter. We're gonna just go the 4 playoff games. The only ones that you're gonna watch.
Okay.
Or 2 playoff, 3, I guess. So
Okay, well, let's go from backwards to forwards. So, like, out of the playoffs, just Florida State, Georgia.
Georgia's gonna win.
Georgia will take that, I think.
Yeah.
And, I mean, because of Florida State's players not wanting to play because of getting snubbed, but I'd say Georgia's taking the cake.
There's another big one, whichever one Ohio State's in. See, that's the thing. I don't even know.
Is it
Ole
right?
Miss, Penn State's a big one. I would give that one to Penn State. Ohio State, Missouri. They're saying Missouri.
Ohio State, Missouri?
Yeah.
What?
In the Cotton Bowl. Yep.
What is this? Okay. All right. I mean,
That's a weird thing.
yeah. I mean, yeah. 5 and 6 play, right? And then 7 and 9. Who's Oregon playing then?
Liberty. This is what makes no
Liberty?
sense. They're 8. They're playing the 23rd. Why? Why?
Huh?
Why would you put? Why are you playing the
bamboozled.
23rd seed? Who cares? What did Liberty?
Oh my! What?
This is why we just need to get rid of bowl games.
Just do 7 and 8, 9 and 10. It would have been so
They're
much
all
easier.
they're all just sponsorships with ridiculous names.
Hey, Chick-fil-A's bowl.
The ReliaQuest Bowl. Yeah, I can't wait to tune in and watch Wisconsin playing the ReliaQuest Bowl against number 13 LSU. Why are we playing LSU? I don't know. Just cause.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense. It's in Florida. Let's bring Wisconsin down.
Hey, some celebration bowl. What are we celebrating? Florida, A&M, and Howard. That's what we're celebrating.
Yeah, well, that one's FCS, so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's ridiculous at this point. But
It's
the
bad.
ones that matter. Alabama, Michigan.
Yep.
Who you got? Harbaugh's going to be back, I believe. I would take Michigan. I have not liked this Alabama team. This isn't bias. This is just them being a weak team. They're a weak team.
You can't take out Nick Saban and in the playoffs, but no, give me the Crimson Tide for this one.
Yeah, you're putting it on the elephant head.
I'm gonna put it on the Crimson Tide. They are going to upset Michigan because Michigan does not find any. They can't win in playoffs. I'm sorry, you always have really good seasons, but you just don't.
They beat Ohio State like back-to-back years.
Yeah, but
Michigan-
then that's not in the playoffs. I'm saying in the playoffs.
Alabama's only crowning win is against Georgia this year. Their schedule is just like whatever after that.
Yeah, okay, but
This
if you
team
put
beat Penn
Georgia
State
versus
and Ohio
Michigan,
State without Harbaugh. They got the middle of a scandal. They didn't even lose. They went on the road. They didn't even matter. Their coach gone from the sidelines. Gone. They kept winning. If Saban was off the sidelines at Alabama, you think Alabama keeps winning?
no, they would be crying and
Thank you.
they would
Thank
be
you.
gone. So,
Michigan.
yes. All right, and then Texas, Washington,
Texas.
Texas. So
I don't have
Texas,
respect for
Michigan,
Pac-12 teams.
Texas, Michigan.
Michigan. As much I hate to say it as Wisconsinite, I think Michigan's going to run it. And I don't want to see Alabama win it all again, dude.
Look.
It's so boring. It's like watching the Patriots from the 2000s.
Hey,
Good thing we're not in the 2000s
where
anymore.
Tom Brady came from Michigan, it would be just good for him to watch.
Shoot,
from,
you're right. He would be there.
Yeah,
But so would Charles. I like Charles Woodson.
He would just have his feet up, enjoying the game instead of playing in it.
Maybe he'd also watch his Patriots highlights along with all the Patriots fans watching them.
No one's watching the Patriots anymore. They were just
No, I'm saying you guys are going back.
Patriots fans.
You guys are digging. You guys are digging through that bin in the garage looking for the old VHS.
Yes.
With Brady highlights on it, huh?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Maybe even Blu-ray DVDs.
I think all Patriots fans agree with me. We aren't.
All 10 of them this year?
Yeah, we aren't Patriots fans anymore. We are Carolina Panthers fans now.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, you don't want your.
Hey, we have the number 2 pick. So what? The Bears have the number 1. So they're not even going to go for a quarterback anyway.
The Panthers. No, you don't need the Panthers to lose because they're not going to get a quarterback. They have Bryce Young. You just need to stay pat.
No. Because the Panthers traded away their pick to the Bears. Yeah, so the Bears have the 1 pick. And
yeah, but
Justin
they already
Fields
said they're staying with Fields.
Yeah, so look.
I don't think they're taking a quarterback at the first overall. Maybe the second pick they are.
Look, New England might have a new quarterback at the helm.
Well, I want to give you some good news. Our teams both officially have the lowest over-under for this week.
Do we?
Tied at 30.5.
Yeah.
Patriots Steelers at 30.5.
That's gonna be a smooth
Browns
fest.
Jags at 30 or Jags Browns 30.5.
If I'm a betting man, I'm picking the under on the Steelers Patriots. That's 30 on.
You're telling me Bailey Zappi and Mitch Trubisky don't
Exactly.
get 31?
Like
They don't get 31? Are you crazy?
they don't. I'm sorry. Get out of here, dude.
I'm so.
We are watching Mitch Trubisky and Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
Like
I'm aware.
the
You watched Bailey
total
Zappi
might
last
be-
week? How was that?
over under might be even 20 if I'm Vegas. Like that's so. That game is
You're
gonna be a
telling
snooze
me
fest.
the stud from Western Kentucky himself, Bailey Zappi, you don't think he'll do well? I'm just kidding.
He put 0 points up against the Chargers. 0 points.
Yeah, he has.
What does a man do? Look, Coach Roll could take over this offense and score more points than.
140 yards.
What's this
He
whole
didn't
team?
throw a pick though.
You know, see how many freaking drops the Chargers defense had on him? Like 5, as many as the offense had.
He did get sacked 5 times. There was
I know.
that.
Khalil Mack just went on.
Honestly, I think that game says more about the Chargers than does the Patriots. We knew the Patriots sucked.
All right, I gotta
The
go
Chargers are bad.
I gotta go on to iPad Kid now.
The iPad kid.
Yeah.
His computer died. No, Vinny. No.
I came unprepared.
iPad kid.
iPad
This
Kid.
is just like last year's show. They had iPads last year. I just don't have one, so I don't play.
Dude, your
Can you guys stop using Zeke, by the way?
No.
Like, Ramondra's hurt now, but even before...
Speaking of stop using, could you not use washed-up quarterbacks as your quarterback?
You wish you had Joe Flacco. He played better than everybody on your team.
Look,
2 weeks with the
this
team,
guy
and he outplayed
has played
both
the
Zappi and Mac
Ravens,
Jones.
and what has he done since? Nothing. And then I had a chance to have a game tying or
He
game
played with the
leading.
Broncos and Jets. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and what did he do on there? Absolutely nothing.
Okay. He played
And-
better than all your quarterbacks.
Hey, you can't compare him to Tom Brady or Cam Newton or
He
Mac
plays
Jones
better than
rookie
Cam
season.
Newton does. He's better than Cam Newton.
Mac Jones rookie season, you can't blame him.
What?
What?
Of course I can. Of course I can blame Mac Jones. This is his 3rd year in the league.
Joe Flacco
This is like the Dak Prescott
could
argument.
tie the game and threw a way underthrown ball.
The game would have been tied if the kicker hits a PAT.
Yeah.
It's
well,
not-
maybe
besi-
get a better kick.
Besides the one pick, which I don't know what he was seeing. I think he wanted to take a shot deep. He played like an amazing game. The defense sucked. The defense was terrible. The run game was non-existent. The 2 things we told Joe would be there. We're going to run the ball great. We're going to play
the
great
ball.
defense. Neither one's there. He slings the rock. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Does Mac Jones have that this season? Go look.
No,
Go check
no,
your game logs.
no.
See if Jones or Zappi has
Absolutely
it.
not.
Go look.
Anyway,
Look. Oh, wait.
the
Unbelievable. Don't ever come
Browns
after
should
Flacco
sign
again.
the Montana State's kicker because he makes that many PATs as he does.
Now, Hopkins has actually been the savior of this team, so I can't blame him for that. But, man, that was... I mean, it just collapsed late.
Hey, against. Wait,
He's
is this
gonna
right?
He's gonna be fine.
Hey, against the Eagles.
Giving the Browns playoff hopes new life.
Look, against the Eagles, Mac Jones threw over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception.
When is this from?
Week 1.
Oh.
That's still.
Oh, you want to know something?
Runner up. That's still the runner up.
No. You want to know the difference between Mac Jones and Joe Flacco? Flacco's had 2 weeks, 2 in the Brown system. Jones has had 3 years, 3, and he still sucks.
Hey,
he's still terrible.
Against the Bills, where they actually won a game, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Oh, you mean like an actual quarterback game, like how he's supposed to play?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and guess what? It resulted in winning. So if we have an average quarterback, we will be fine. So taking a rookie in the second-round pick,
no, you won't.
I know we won't. We're going to freaking take someone named Cole Strange again.
No. You could take Mahomes. Mahomes will not fix that team. You don't have receivers. You don't have running backs. You don't have an offensive coordinator.
How can you call Rondre Stevenson not a running back?
He's losing his job to Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott hasn't been relevant in 3 years. Even the Cowboys didn't want to re-sign him, and Jerry re-signs everybody. Jerry doesn't let anybody walk. It could be a guy who's like in a wheelchair. If he drafted him, he's going to keep playing for the team. And once again, Bill does what Bill always does. It came unclipped. It doesn't count. It came unclipped.
That's one.
It came unclipped.
That's one.
It's not my fault. You get me upset here. I'm flailing my arms around. I did a 1 count from the back. Fine, we'll count it. Fine.
Yes.
Still doesn't change the facts. And the facts are that Bill Belichick can't sign offensive free agents. He can't.
He can't sign free agents. He can't
draft.
He cannot do anything except for being a good coach.
The only 2 good free agents he got were Randy Moss and Wes Welker. And I'm going to argue that Brady made Welker what Welker was. Moss was already amazing. Yes.
Stop.
No.
He played for Peyton Manning, too. And he was good.
After the fact.
Still.
After the picture. I'm going in current day. Wes was not a superstar receiver that Bill Belichick grabbed. He grabbed him because he was fast and he wanted to be a kick returner. Brady made him an amazing slot receiver. Manning made him an amazing slot receiver. That's why Brady and Manning were great quarterbacks. If Mac Jones was paired up with Wes Welker, Wes is getting like 500 yards a year.
Dude, Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Julian Edelman.
It's not right yet. I'm adjusting it. It doesn't count.
Excuses.
I'll pull yours right now. I'll make you so fast.
I mean, hey, and speaking of teams falling short, Eagles against 49ers. With a healthy
falling short? The game wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't even watch
And they're the number 1 team. Or they were before the game.
I mean, everybody knew the Eagles were going to be fraudulent. Let's be really honest with each other here.
And,
this wasn't going to be a close game. The Eagles have underperformed all year. The Niners looked like they were ready to go. I mean, I didn't expect that, but...
Look, I mean, Cowboys beat the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Absolute wonderful game. The best Thursday night game. Praise the Lord.
We were just talking about the Niners and Eagles.
No. I'm going to get there. Okay?
Yeah, we were just
Praise the Lord that we actually had a really good Thursday night game.
He missed the exit, so we're turning back around.
The Eagles
with the Yui in the other lane.
Are going to face the Cowboys next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is how this gets you.
And...
I hate to say it. I like the Cowboys more.
Yeah, exactly. If the Cowboys win...
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want the Cowboys to win, but I like them more. If I had to bet, I would probably take them. Isn't it in Dallas?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was.
Yeah, it is, because I think they played
because they played in Philly. Like,
yeah.
I genuinely like this Cowboys team. Cowboys is going to beat the Eagles. Eagles are going to drop 2, and 49ers at 1. Like, this is such a, rat race here on all 3 lost teams now. That's how we got back to the Eagles, okay? So don't even come at me with
race? What do you mean all 3 lost? Eagles only have 2 losses.
Yeah, if they lose to the Cowboys. Can you count? 1, 2, 3?
So we're making assumptions?
Yes, we are.
Is this some weird thing where you describe how the Vikings could still get the 1st seed if the Eagles lose and the Cowboys fall apart?
No.
And the Niners trip and the sky's blue and the moon is green and St. Patrick comes home and sprinkles dust over the Vikings and then we're the 1 seed. Woo!
No, what I'm saying is Eagles could fall down. So, because you got
Like
the
a Life
Eagles,
Alert commercial.
because you're going Eagles, Cowboys, 49ers, Lions. Like, that's the top 4 seeds.
Yeah, if you're
And then, you throw the Falcons in there because they win the freaking disaster fire of the NFC South.
if you're a Cowboys fan, I don't think you expected to be in it at Week 13. They take the lead in the NFC East, and if you lose it,
it's on you.
You're done. You're done. This is it. This is your Super Bowl if you're a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys fan, this is your Super Bowl.
If you want home field advantage in a potential bye, you need to win this week.
Absolutely, big time. So you got the 49ers, who's going to be number 1 seed. We're doing hypothetical, right? You got the 49ers at 1 seed. You got the Cowboys at 2, or Lions, one of the 2, and then because the Falcons winning a shitty division.
Yeah, they're the 4.
And then
don't care about
the Eagles would be a 5 seed. So you have to win this game if you're the Cowboys. Shout out to Blake Gordon, big Cowboys fan.
No shout out to Blake Gordon. I bought a DeAndre Hopkins jersey. Right here. I bought a DeAndre Hopkins jersey when the Cardinals beat the Cowboys. I told them, if the Cardinals win, I'm buying it. I'll wear it next week. I'll bring it in.
Do it.
Because the Steelers just lost to the Cowboys. Or not the Cowboys, the Cardinals. So now the Cardinals have beaten my 2 least favorite teams, Cowboys and the Steelers. It's great to be a Cardinals fan by proxy. I don't care, Arizona, about you, but thank you for beating the teams I hate. Shout out Blake Gordon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He'll know. He'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He'll
Okay.
know.
All right. Sounds good. What else do we have? Packers upsetting the Chiefs. Speaking of big teams going down.
They really tried to give the Chiefs that one. Do you see the hit on Mahomes by Jonathan Owens?
Yeah, but also you don't call that PI call. That guy
call
was
the
all
roughness
over
call.
him. He was like,
it did feel like a case of we messed up this penalty, so we're gonna give you this one.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know. It's weird. Are the Packers gonna have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row? I swear, if they do, I'm just gonna spike that. I'm gonna spike this. Computer, just throw it across the table.
As a Vikings fan, you're just jumping off a cliff because you
as an anybody
deal.
fan, I don't care who. As an anybody fan, it's gonna be 45 straight years, a Hall of Fame quarterback. And they're gonna do nothing with it. They're gonna win what?
One Super Bowl. One Super Bowl in Jordan Love's career.
They made 2 with Favre. They only made 1 with Rodgers.
You're gonna do 1 more.
Maybe they'll make 0 with Love. They'll make it a 2-1-0. Just go right down the line, right down that incline.
Averaged 3 Super Bowls with 3 quarterbacks. What a great way.
I'm telling you right now, if the Browns had 30 years worth of Favre and Rodgers and Love, if he's good,
he looks
8
looks
titles.
good.
We'd have 8 titles.
Baloney.
8.
Dude, Tom Brady. 6 rings. 7. 1 with the Bucks. Look.
Yeah, you threw that one out because you're a Pats fan. Huh? You're like, that one doesn't count. We
don't count that. Anyway,
we don't talk about that. We got to keep Bill's legacy alive.
Exactly. Speaking of quarterback 1, maybe Zach Wilson might come back on the Jets.
Oh, did you hear this?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he says Robert Saleh, the Jets head coach, walks up to him and is like, "Hey man, do you want to play again? Do you want the job?" And he's like, "No, coach, that don't sound like me." He's like,
look, benched me.
I
don't want to start on your team.
He stood up from the table and he just walks away. He says, "No, coach, not me.
Bye.
I'm
not doing this."
I ain't the one. Zach Wilson, walk off the camera.
Look,
crazy.
Aaron Rodgers might come back though. That's the crazy part.
No, he's not gonna. They're not in it. They're 4-8.
Yeah.
They lose to the Texans. They're out of the race.
Dude, look.
They're cemented out of the race. They lose to the Texans.
How, if you're the Jets, you put Aaron Rodgers in just to win comeback player of the year. Just because he comes back from an ACL here after smoking so much weed just to numb the pain.
Jets playoff scenarios. There's already an 8-step to-do list. Already. Oh, this is from last year. Never mind. Get this out of here.
We don't need old news.
Here we go.
We don't need old news.
Less than 1%.
Yeah.
They got to win.
You got to win out.
So if we just say that they win, 14.
Just mark them all winning. Right
if the Jets win out everything, they're still not guaranteed. It's 16% chance. 16. If they went out.
16% is 16%.
And Rodgers is going to come back for probably another 2 weeks.
No.
At least. If he's even, let's assume he's healthy. He can walk. But if he can't play, it doesn't matter. Aaron, you can walk. You have to be able to like take hits as a quarterback with the Achilles. Push off the Achilles. Run. You can't look like 2015 Peyton Manning. That ain't going to help the Jets.
Hey, look, Tom Brady just sat in the pocket and kind of played 22 years off of that. So maybe Aaron Rodgers with this Jets terrible O-line could just stand there and throw the ball. And just,
So they need Patriots, Jags, Chiefs to win this week. Those are the 3 biggest ones. I can tell you right now it's not going to happen.
You're relying on the Patriots.
C.J. Beathard just got hurt, or just got put in starter because Trevor Lawrence is hurt.
Right.
Helps the Browns out a ton. This is a Browns team that's played amazing against backup quarterbacks or not so great quarterbacks. Patriots are a mess.
Wow, the Browns will actually get a win.
This is news to the Patriots that they have to win to help the Jets. They're not gonna do
the Browns will finally win a game after 2 games losing. Good job. I'm gonna be
really
proud of you guys.
This is really ironic that you're clapping right now.
Hey, look, we're playing the Steelers. You know?
There are so many scenarios.
Bill
that have to
Belichick
happen.
owns Mike Tomlin. That's my only logistic going into tomorrow's game. If I am a betting man, do we want to cover bets, by the way?
Sure, man. Pull up some bets.
Okay.
I'm looking. This is terrible scenario. I mean, you're expecting basically a perfect run if you're a Jets fan to get in. To get in.
To get in.
You need like 20 different teams to win and lose. This is a laundry list.
All right. Patriots versus Steelers. Over, under 30. We already covered that. Just take the under if you're a betting man, okay? And Steelers are favored by 6 in this game. I will take that line because Patriots cannot score a single point.
You're taking the Steelers to cover with
Yes.
Trubisky?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
The only one I would take from that game's the under.
Just take the under from that game, okay? And then Falcons, Bucks.
Whoa. Slow down, Broncos. Slow down, guy. Patriots have not scored 10 points the last 3 weeks. They have scored 13 combined the last 3 weeks.
I know.
They're the Iowa of the NFL. The Steelers have not scored very much. They have only scored 10, 16, 10 the last 3 weeks. And no Kenny Pickett. New offensive coordinator. It's going to be a dumpster fire.
It's going to be terrible. Just take the under. Just take
the only way it's a high-scoring game is if the defense has scored touchdowns.
Yeah. And, just take the under. Like, if...
The other sound game I'm looking at that's a really good bet is the Saints to cover by 5. I like that against the Panthers.
Saints to cover by 5?
You're playing the Panthers. They're 1-11. The Saints, I hate the Saints. They're such a weird team. But do you have? He has his betting app pulled up. He's making the picks.
I'm just. If I want to give you guys a parlay, I'm gonna do it right. Okay, I'm gonna do it right.
See, Niners by 10.5 is a lot.
So you say Saints cover the 5?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, against Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
This is a Saints team that plays very well at home. Their defense is still very good. Yep. The Panthers are not very good. They just got exposed again. It's not looking good. Their coach is gone. Adam Thielen's their best option. He didn't get involved last week.
No. I mean, I had him on my fantasy team too. Like, he did nothing for me.
You felt that. You felt that one, huh?
I was undefeated. And
Thielen, you're undefeated.
I'm still undefeated. I am still undefeated because Travis Etienne and Travis Kelce, shout out to Taylor Swift, absolutely balled out for me.
Oh, guys, I
I'm still
lost
undefeated.
my first game.
Okay, I have not lost a game in fantasy football yet. So, anyway, Lions Bears. You think the Lions cover again?
Are we going right down the line? If we are, we got rapid fire these. Lions cover.
Lions cover.
Colts Bengals. I'm not even going to touch
Lions cover 3.5. I would just take their money line.
I'd take them at 3.5. They haven't played the soundness, but this Bears team's not doing great. And you'd assume the Lions are going to come out. If it's a cold game, they have David Montgomery. They have Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Amon-Ra is supposed to be back.
Probably.
So like 100 or close to 100. Close to 100 yards this year.
I mean, and then I'll take the Browns money line against the Jaguars.
Thanks.
That
means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
That means a lot. And I'm proud that you didn't bet on C.J. Beathard of all quarterbacks. Wow, what a guy.
Yep. I'm going to take the 49ers money line because they've been doing really good. And then, wow, we have a really good game this week. It's the Bills versus the Chiefs. Sorry. Anyway.
The tale of the two underperforming teams.
I know, it's so
Who
sad.
would have thought we'd be here?
And
Drop City. Drop City.
Eagles, Cowboys, give me the over. That's your 6-leg parlay right there. And it's plus 2,106.
Plus 2106 for the odds. And you took the money line for what, the Browns?
Money line for the 49ers. Browns.
The Niners money line is smart because 10.5 is quite the spread. That's a lot. That's a lot to cover by 11 points or more. But I mean, I don't know. I'd also squeeze on Packers Giants on there. I don't know how. I think you would have to go over.
So if you did $1.50, I don't know how much, but you get $33 back. I'm just saying.
There you go, guys. You can get a dinner at Applebee's for $1.50.
Yeah. Anyway, yep. So that's our segment of bets of the week.
It's a great segment.
Yeah, I know. We gotta keep that in. We gotta give me any time. We just gotta keep that in. Anyway.
Any other NFL stuff you want to cover before we cover the other sports in the next 5 minutes? Because that's pretty much all the time we dedicate to other sports. Because we're an American.
Yeah.
I don't care.
NFL football is where it's at, and
look at the desk. Look at the desk.
This is America right here. It's gonna roll off the table. Yeah. Balance beam. Okay.
Balance beam. It's not a balance beam.
Okay. Other news in NBA. NBA had an in-season tournament and finally it's getting to the semifinals. No one cared
about it.
Whoa!
Shocker! Whoa!
Whoa! We got an in-season tournament. It means absolutely nothing.
If you need a way to incentivize the players to play, your sport sucks. Why do we need to incentivize these guys to play the games? Whatever.
Well, just like everyone expected, Lakers versus Pelicans in the semis, Bucks and Pacers in the semis.
That's what you expected?
I expected the Bucks to be in there. I didn't expect the Lakers, but LeBron James.
Terrible.
Anyway, there was a little controversy in that Lakers game before that, but that's...
Yeah, it wasn't the chokehold controversy from the Warriors game.
No.
Sadly. That was a good one.
That was something. Anyway, championship will be hosted December 9th. Not like that's a big deal.
I mean, if I'm sleeping, I might tune in. But like what? Isn't that... No, that's Saturday. I could tune in. If it was Sunday, I wouldn't at all. But
because you're watching the Browns lose anyway. No. That's against the Jaguars. You're fine. It's
fine. I watch your Patriots lose. It's fine. I hate the Steelers.
Hey, it's on Thursday. It's tomorrow.
You better beat the Steelers. I can't stand that team. You don't have a chance.
I don't know.
You don't have a chance.
I genuinely do not know. We would have a chance if we hired a good defense or offense coordinator, a good quarterback, couple weapons for that quarterback. So
let me get this straight. You're good. You have a chance if you replace the whole offense, all of it.
Yes.
Except for the running back.
Yes, right there. Mm-hmm.
I think that's a sign that
we can't use rusty Ezekiel Elliott because he's over here walking around like a grandpa because he cannot do jack.
He's still carrying your team. He's the best running back on your team.
Baloney. Anyway, speaking of baloney, we don't want to cover. Speaking of baloney, I don't want to cover NHL news, so I don't know who watched that.
Your transitions are par none. Speaking of baloney, we don't care about the NHL. How does this relate to the NHL? I don't know. It's the NHL. Baloney. Baloney NHL. Something in there. Something in there is the same. We'll figure it out in post-production. We'll put up picture baloney with an NHL helmet on it, holding a stick. Hockey. Chill. Slap shot. Yeah. Woo. Baloney.
Baloney. That's our segment for NHL right now. I mean, we could cover the Fargo Forest, but that's as much hockey as I want to go into.
That's too niche. Although they are what? Was it 15 and 3?
They are
17
on
and 3?
fire.
They've only lost 3 games, and we're like a third of the way through the
season.
I
know. The Forest is a dominance to be reckoned with.
To everyone outside of Fargo, MLB news. Some big trade news going on. Some big signings. Orioles are close to signing the closer, Craig Kimbrell. And Alex Verdugo traded to the Yankees from the Red Sox. So kind of an interesting divisional trade, a little bit rivalry trade. And the Guardians won the draft lottery despite 2% chance. So the city of Cleveland's partying it up because they weren't even a bad team. And they won the lottery. And then, of course, the biggest news that everybody cares about, not just baseball fans, Shohei Ohtani.
Visiting the Dodgers for 2 to 3 hours.
What is he spending 2 to 3 hours with them for? I don't know. You tell me.
Laying back in his chair right here and then just putting his feet up on the counter.
Don't put your feet up on the counter.
And then smoking a cigar, just like, yeah, I kind of want to join the Dodgers because I need to get out of Los Angeles because they kind of are trash except for Mike Trout. And I want to play a dual position anyway. So, Dodgers, I know you guys have always, each year, you're really good. Let me join your team. I think that's how that went.
So apparently the Dodgers are in the running. The Angels feel like they have a chance. The Cubs haven't even really done much with them. I know the Blue Jays were one that was mentioned on Twitter as having a chance, and then the Giants. So there's your 5. I don't think he's going to New York, is what it sounds like. He's trying to stay out West Coast, so I think that would throw Chicago out. Right. Toronto would be a weird one. So if I'm watching this, I'm thinking Dodgers, Angels, Giants in that order.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that's it. I mean, the other 2 teams have to throw in a lot, and these are teams that aren't as big of markets. And I'm praying. I am praying the Angels don't keep him. Shohei
deserves so much better. So much better than the Angels.
Shohei's like that one girlfriend going back. I can fix him. No, you can't. Run. Just go.
I swear I can fix him.
He's got 5 felonies. 3 different kids. Go. Run. He can't be fixed.
See, like, dip as fast as you can, and go be with the person that you deserve to be. And that's the Dodgers.
It's an abusive relationship between Shohei and the Angels. The Angels promise him, we'll make the playoffs. Shohei's like, all right. Plays his heart out. Hits a couple. Throws some good games, Wins a bunch. Wins the awards.
And then goes to the playoffs.
And then the alarm clock goes off. And the Angels are in the playoffs. Just don't. You can't.
Yeah, you leave your toxic boyfriend and then somehow they do something with their lives. Yeah,
I mean,
no,
the deal for Shohei is going to be insane. It's just going to be wild. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime player. This is the Babe Ruth of baseball right now. Right. This guy can pitch amazingly. He hits insanely well.
Hits dingers.
I've never seen a guy who can start, play 8, 9 innings, and then bat the same day and hit 2 home runs.
Right. Absolute legend right there. Absolute legend.
We had...
First ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we had YouTube videos dedicated to pitchers hitting home runs. Shohei's the whole video now. He's the whole video. It's just Shohei highlights. That's all it is. It's like the Tavon Austin highlight tapes. It's just Shohei. It's just Shohei.
It's a Shohei show, That's all it is.
The Show Ohtani show?
Yeah. Show Ohtani show. Yeah.
I don't know. Something with Shohei. I didn't get a good one there.
I think you can come up with a better one after the show. And then
it's all right.
Like, why did I come up with that one?
I mean, if Josh Dobbs gets a second chance, I can get a second chance at a good pun.
But you're not astronaut, so...
No, but I didn't throw 4 picks on Monday Night Football to the Bears. So.
You're right.
You got anything else?
That's all I got, except for...
A couple small signings. Trevor Lawrence, injury news. I guess we'll cover some injuries. Trevor Lawrence has high ankle sprain. Dobbs is going to start. Wilson's going to come back. Apparently he's QB1. Von Miller is going to play after his arrest.
I mean, if you want to talk about injuries... We have so many quarterback injuries this year. It's not even funny.
What is it up to, like 11?
It's insane.
We'll
I gotta look up PFF.
We gotta put this in at the end of the show.
Yep. Injury.
We're both looking it up. We're underprepared, but
I mean, you can cut all this out, right?
Nah, we don't need to cut this out. Don't tell them that. We didn't know that.
Yeah, everything we record is live. I guarantee it.
So you won't see it till next week.
Yep.
See you by January.
Where is our show from last week anyway?
It's getting there. It's getting there. Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and then we've also had a slew of other guys. Fields got hurt throughout the year. We've seen guys get benched. Pickett's now hurt.
Anthony Richardson.
He's on that list.
Oh, I don't know.
Tua's been healthy, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most injury-riddled guys stays healthy. What a miracle.
It's weird. I'm trying to think who else.
Danny Jones.
Tannehill got benched, so he doesn't count.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's just this.
Oh, Jimmy G
hurt
and benched?
Something like that.
There's been a lot of injuries. Tough to keep track of.
Yeah, I mean, quarterbacks have just been injured left and right. That's all I got for this week.
You want to sign them off?
Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys, or me and Logan.
You will.
Me and Logan will see ya next week. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys next week.
See ya.